It's time for the big hard facts. Unfortunately, my guest has not been able to make it here, so we're going to, talk about something else while we wait. But it's still almost in the same area. It's just that we wanted to be specific, specific when we're talking about the CBN's policy on spending dollars in the country. But let's move away from that and still talk about the cost of living crisis. This time from poverty perspective. Yes, in the Vanguard newspaper today, it's a story that caught my attention and I just held on to it. I said we'd talk about it on another day, but the opportunity has presented itself. It's still Hard Facts, 99.3 Nigeria Info. 8 minutes gone past the 5 o'clock hour. A professor called Taiwo Bindo has recently been credited to saying that poverty is a major determinant of mental health issues in Nigeria. Well, I'll give you some background, then I'll play out some scenarios for you. Now, the professor, who's worried about the rise in suicide and insecurity issues in Nigeria in recent times, he and a group of people in the Association of Psychiatrists in Nigeria have raised an alarm on the imminent explosion of depression and other mental health conditions in the country. The president of the APM, Professor Taiwo Bindo, told the Vanguard newspaper that the country was sitting on a keg of gunpowder, no thanks to the harsh economic crisis. Obindo said that urgent steps need to be employed to tackle mental health related issues. He even tasked the federal government, as well as employers of labor, to guarantee the well-being of Nigerians to ameliorate the negative effects of the harsh economy on the people's mental health. Let's talk about the harsh economy first, and then we'll come to how poor people are. Just before the elections under the Buhari administration, when Buhari came in 2015, there was the poor, there was the middle class, and then there was the rich. Just before Buhari left office, there was the very rich, no middle class, the poor, poorest of the poor, and the last of them is the one that they say are the needy. And in those categories, you have people who probably used to be in the second class, but there's no second class anymore. It's either you're poor or you're rich. So the rich, very rich, and the poor, very poor. Two extremes. A friend of mine who's also a TV star told me this a weekend ago, that for every day she goes into the supermarket to buy anything, there's always someone there. Could be male, could be female, could be young, could be old, just saying, please, can you just include this bread and pay for it? Or please, can you include this noodles and pay for it? Please, can you include this biscuit and pay for it? There's always someone asking politely. That's how bad it has become. I'm talking about the cost of living crisis. I was talking about same thing. We were having the same conversation about the cost of living crisis. Where I go to take my morning walks or I go to jog on the weekends, I realized that more and more people are sleeping out in the cold. I realized that a lot more people now live in their cars because they cannot afford to pay their rents any longer. I realized that a lot of people are sleeping rough because they have nowhere to go. Some of them sleep where they work. So they wait till everyone's gone. They pretend that they're going home. And then when everyone's gone, they come back and sleep there in front of the shop. Or sometimes inside the shop. They wake up early in the morning, try to take a shower, brush their teeth, and get ready. That's how bad things have become. But that's not the worst. The worst, which Professor Taiwo is talking about, is that the pressure that comes with losing your job, losing your sense of livelihood, or the only source of livelihood that you had, losing a business, losing money, is that you slip into depression. And that it's now on a high. A lot more people are getting depressed. A lot more people are now suicidal. A lot more people have thrown in the towel. And he calls it a keg of gunpowder. And he says, while the rich is getting richer and the poor is getting poorer, government needs to do something to deal with this issue now before it gets worse. So if you used to earn money and you could pay for the simplest things and you could buy at least 2 meals a day, and now it's just one you can afford, or you can't even afford anymore, so you're living off of the mercy of anyone who's nice enough to pay for your bread at that counter in the supermarket. And you're also at the mercy of the people who own the supermarket, who are capable of throwing you out and saying, oh, guy, you are now a constant. Or, madam, must you always come here? Or you're at the mercy of the people who are walking into a real market to say, please, even if it's 2 cups of rice, let me go and cook to eat with my children. Or you're at the mercy of the people on social media who once in a while do giveaways, which is very hard to do now if you live in this country. And so when all fails, you're tipping towards suicide. And some people say, well, some people are finding succor in church. Churches sometimes do their best, try to cater to the needs of a few people in their communities, in their catchment areas. But after you eat that one model of rice, or drink the gari that they gave you, it's whatever. What next? It doesn't look like, things are changing or getting better anytime soon. Oh, and yes, NEPA is bringing bills that that are incredible. You can't pay. Your landlord is telling you that somebody wants to pay for this place, or this one that you're owing me. Are you sure you will not move? What else do you hold on to? Where is the hope, of course, the average person will ask, that is supposed to be renewed? Is it waning? So there are too many scenarios here. More people are becoming homeless. More people have lost their jobs. The ones who even have jobs, the take-home pay, once you collect the salary, you don't know what you have done with it because you have kids to cater to. You still have to pay your rent. You still have to buy lights. You still have to buy fuel because NEPA has not been giving light. How do you cope? Oh, let's move away from that. Those are really harsh realities I've painted. Let's come to the part where you are trying to go about your business and someone's robbing you of the little 5K that you had. You wanted to go and buy things to come and feed the children at home. The boy is in Ikorodu. The boy is in mile 12. The boy is at Jakonde. The boy is at Chisco. The boy is at Marwa. Oh, and you're managing to go to your work. Maybe you're a driver. You are trying to drive school children to work. They kidnap you and ask for 10 million. You know that even if they sell everybody, including the land in your family, they won't even raise 10 million. And so you're at the mercy of kidnappers who say, if they don't pay, we kill you. And then, unfortunately, for that driver in Ekiti, they killed him. And the government didn't do anything. The families had to pay 15 million. That could also be the same for Nabiha's family. I mean, Ned Moko was also talking about his own aide who was taken. So it's raining cats and dogs. And in the midst of it, we still have to grind, with the cost of living crisis. It's bleak all over. But the Association of Psychiatrists are telling us that because of all these things that are happening, people are gradually slipping into depression. The question is, what's the alternative? Well, they said government needs to step in. Well, does government need to be told to step in to deal with issues such as this? Once again, apologies, my guest being unable to be here on the Big Hat Facts. But let's talk about let's have a tete-a-tete, guys. The facts have been set on the ground, and I really want you to speak to me from a place of truth. Let's share our truth. How are you holding up? And do you and at times when things are really, when the ball really drops, who do you turn to? Do you have someone to go to? Can you open up to your friends and family and tell them, I'm in a dark place? Who's going to help? Because it looks like, it was easier before. I mean, and when I'm saying before, I'm saying a few months ago, 6, 7, 8 months ago, it was easier. But now it's so bad that everyone's just managing within their households, just managing to get by. So what's the alternative? Well, they're saying government needs to help, but the government doesn't seem to be interested necessarily because, hey, who put us here? But what's the way out? Let's all talk. How are you guys coping? How do we get this one out the bag? And are we going to be able to cross this particular hurdle anytime soon? Because it's one thing for these professors to tell us that, yes, we're in trouble. But then it's another for us to be able to say, okay, well, what's the solution? And they say, hey, the solution lies with the government. What government? And let's look at all these things that the government have been telling us they're doing to help us. Is there hope anywhere in the horizon? Let's talk. 0700 993 993 993. In case you're just joining us, the program is Hard Facts, 99.3 Nigeria Info. I'm Mary Okon, and we're talking about the fact that the cost of living crisis in the country and, of course, the poverty that Nigerians have to face or have had to face in the space of a few months, according to these psychiatrists, might be plunging a lot of us into depression and suicide. So, how do we dig ourselves out of this hole? Hello.
Mama, good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
My dear sister, I don't they call you sister yesterday. I call my brother station. I just reach out now.
Oh.
But I bring granola for you. I don't feel reach you. I don't know who I give you.
You'd have brought it to the office, but it's all good. It's okay. Don't stress yourself.
Don't worry. Next time now.
No problem.
My sister, things they hard now. I don't they call you see, but I report police for this our road. See now. I know you talk again now.
No, we're past that. But how are you coping?
I that one. See, as they come now, I branch Sabo Market here for Kurudu, my dear sister. Make a na granite and fufu na my business be that.
Okay.
I know if you buy granite 4,000 1 naira no come out. Bag last year I buy a bag of granite 70,000. As I'm telling you now, bag of granite now 110. Why won't see the money? I just buy literally.
Sorry, from 70,000 to 110,000.
I just buy only 3 bag, 3 pence. Now I buy you 4,000. My dear sister, we don't know where we are going to. When we know, okay, we see what they pay me for this country. They're not listening to us. Our company, they're not listening. As I tell you now, if we start now, if I plan my wahala now, do my small petit where I go take the job, but I plan ugu, or I plant fall, or I plant corn. My neighbor there here, why you go live in goat, they chop everything. People when they get malu, they go bring their own, chop everything off. Man, as I tell all the Nigerian men are to me, if pray for next month, if I do my cassava, I get hold. If I plant, if anybody enter my farm, top of my thing, my police station.
Can I ask where your farm is? Is your farm behind your house, or you have a farm somewhere?
My house now, one land is there near my, near you, the talk now, near my own house, go. Because they never build them, I take and they do farm. You see now? The remainder of my life, I think and they do. I know no problem with Nigeria, their life, maybe I think it's their cause. Now, no concern me. I be farmer woman. I get my house and my house. Passola now. Passola go bless Passola. Passola to everybody where they train animal. Do something for them. I don't know this government where they outside and that is the same.
So you're saying that when you plant your cassava,
then you bring their malu and goat. Everything with my
have you tried to report this to the authorities?
Don't worry yourself now. This year, me and them, 1,000 I will go dig them. Go carry ourselves, go come.
Okay.
That's what I tell you. I get it.
Okay.
Then go kill me. Then
Okay, no,
I
nobody's
have to
dying.
have
Nobody's dying. No, no.
Koboko, bless you.
All right, thank you, thank you. Nobody's dying. But on a serious note, how do we dig ourselves out of this hole? Again, I would like to refer you to what the professor said. He said urgent steps need to be employed to tackle not just the mental health, but the issue of, because social issues, economic issues, and then of course health issues all join together to affect you mentally, emotionally, and otherwise. And so he's saying that even employers of labor need to guarantee the well-being of their staff to ameliorate the negative effects of the harsh economy on people's mental health. But employers can do so much. No matter how they try, they're also victims of what's happening in the economy. So again, our eyes turn back to the government of the day. How do we dig ourselves out of this problem? Another report I saw over the weekend, that there's an emergency in terms of drugs, because the prices of medications and tablets have more than doubled. I'll give you an example. 2 days ago, I had to get my dad an inhaler because he's got a little bit of asthma, and I wasn't shocked because I don't use the but when we went to buy it, they said it was 8,500, and he started screaming. And I said, why? He said he hasn't used an inhaler in a while because he's felt better, but because of the dust, he's only coming to find out that the inhaler now costs 8,500 naira. I'll be back after this break. Stay with us, Lagos.
Ladies and gentlemen, back at you again with some information you can use. Now, here's a big question. When have you known OnePlay.ng not to honor
your child a head start in life with Renzo Vitamins for Kids, because a happy child is a healthy child.
Renzo!
Our ability to handle life's challenges is a measure of our character. Every challenge is not a roadblock, but a clarion call to greatness. An invitation echoes in each stride, inviting you to discover the extraordinary within, beckoning you to find your feet. Welcome to the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon, a showdown where dreams unfold their wings and challenges bow before the will to win. Your feet awaits in every courageous step you take, in every dream you pursue, and in every stride that leads you to the finish line.
Join us at the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon, a celebration of your personal victories and the courage to find your feet. Get ready to run for more at the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon, happening on the 10th of February 2024. Learn more at www.accessbankplc.com/marathon. Access, more than banking.
At the start of the race, head held high, feet check, body ready. Your bounce is 100. Soon, you begin to sweat and lose electrolytes. And as you get closer to the finish line, you start to lose your rhythm and your bounce. That's when you rehydrate, refresh, and replenish with Hydrate 100 Isotonic Drink.
Hydrate 100.
Enjoy the great taste of the new Hydrate 100 Isotonic Drink in strawberry, tangy twist, and pine berry flavors as you keep your bounce at the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon on the 10th of February. Follow Hydrate 100 NG on all social media platforms for more info. Hydrate 100 Isotonic Drink. Keep your bounce.
What takes a plate of jollof rice to the next level of goodness? Is it when it is cooked with no seasoning cubes for that sumptuous taste? Or when you serve it with correct Nigerian salad, cabbage, carrot, lettuce, and a bit of kidney beans?
It's both. Season your jollof with the rich taste of Knorr cubes and serve with plenty of vegetables. So, go ahead and elevate your meals. Today, eat for good.
Do you want your children to excel in STEM subjects? Enroll them today on Get Bundy Education Technology at www.getbundy.com. With over 1,000 hours of science subjects, 4,000 multiple choice questions, 3 years of revision for competitive exams, Get Bundy Education Technology is the right platform for your children to learn and develop needed skills for future technology. For GSS 3 and SS3, Get Bundy is offering daily online live lessons Monday through Friday, 4:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. and mathematics and coding classes on Saturdays. Give your children the right head start with proficient educationist on Get Bundy. Register them today on www.getbundy.com or call 0814 175 5552.
When you wake up on the wrong side of your bed, you wake up with a bad mood. It could affect your car. Before you know it, when you sleep on the wrong mattress, you'd always wake up on the wrong side of the bed. Sleep good and start your day right with Vitafoam's range of great quality mattresses and furniture. Visit www.vitafoamng.com or any of our authorized distributors nationwide. Vitafoam, the fine art of living.
This is an important registration notice. Do you collect personal data of people? If yes, you are either a data controller or a data processor, and you are required to register with the Nigeria Data Protection Commission. Registration opens on January 30th, 2024 and closes on June 30th, 2024. Registration after due date attracts penalty. Registration portal www.services.ndpc.gov.ng. For more details, visit www.ndpc.gov.ng. NDPC, championing privacy rights.
We're gonna rise up above the sea. Africa unite.
Hey there, Macbeth provides you with mouth-watering offers and fantastic odds on your favorite sports. Predict games during the AFCON season and win big. No dull moments at all, as you will get 10% cash back on all losses weekly. Hurry now to www.macbet.ng to place your bets and win big. Users can now download the Macbet app from www.macbet.ng for better betting experience for Android users. With Macbet, bet no dey finish.
Users, I want to drop this here while it is hot. If you have a glow line that's not linked to your NIN yet, this is your last chance to do it, or you risk getting blocked. Yes, you heard that. Your line will be blocked, cancelled, barred, disconnected. Pick your choose. This is coming directly from the horse's mouth. The NCC. What else do you stand to lose, you may ask? Well, along with your ability to make or receive calls, send SMS, or even check your account balance, no more tweeting, posting, and chatting on social media. Dial star 996 hash now or visit the nearest Glow outlet or SIM registration agent to link your NIN to your Glow line and stay forever on. No NIN? No problem. Just go to the nearest NIMC office to get yours now. Remember, SIM registration is free.
Unlimited.
Be part of the moments to remember with AFCON 2023 on DSTV. Experience Africa's biggest football tournament with all 52 thrilling games live and in HD the way you like it. Enjoy expert commentary that will blow your mind.
It's a gorgeous finish. Super goal.
And the finest analysis to keep you in the game. Live your pride, passion, and love for Africa's beautiful game from the 13th of Jan to the 11th of Feb on Supersport or anywhere on DSTV Stream.
Folake, where are you going? Won't you go to the cashier to settle your medical bills? Bills? Cashier? My HMO already handles that. You and these HMOs every time. Is it not the same HMOs we all know?
No, Reliance HMO is different. For example, I'm only here because I needed a physical examination. Other times, I chat with a doctor from the comfort of my home. I can even get a prescription delivered.
But they only cover you when you are ill.
That's not true. I had my facials done at my HMO. Even my workout sessions are covered by Reliance HMO.
How about hospitals?
Reliance HMO has a hospital roaming. Their relationship with providers makes it so easy to access care at any facility. Approvals take a short time.
They tell you what you're covered for?
With the Reliance Care app, I have all I need in my back pocket. I can connect with a rep in seconds.
How is that even possible?
This is Reliance HMO, the next generation health plan for businesses. Visit www.getreliancehealth.com or call 0201 700 1580.
Hello, excuse me. This Milo pack looks different. I'm seeing support energy release, bam, on the pack. Is it the same Milo? No, this one is new and improved. The support energy release means when you give your kids Milo as part of breakfast, you are giving them energy they need to go to school. Ah, I like this one.
Your kids need nourishing energy. Give them the new and improved Milo at breakfast. It has nutrients that support energy release to help them get the most out of their day. Milo, energy to go further.
There are loads of moments that give me cool vibes when I get that Jara or when I get that sweet bonus from my 9 mobile network.
Enjoy 9 confirmed with 1,000 Naira activation bonus, 900% bonus on every recharge. Double data bonus on your first month recharge and a whopping 100% data bonus for 6 months. Get a new SIM or dial star 1400 hash to migrate.
9 Mobile. Here for you. Here for Ninja.
Our ability to handle life's challenges is a measure of our character. Every challenge is not a roadblock, but a clarion call to greatness. An invitation echoes in each stride, inviting you to discover the extraordinary within, beckoning you to find your feet. Welcome to the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon, a showdown where dreams unfold their wings and challenges bow before the will to win. Feet awaits in every courageous step you take, in every dream you pursue, and in every stride that leads you to the finish line.
Join us at the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon, a celebration of your personal victories and the courage to find your feet. Get ready to run for more at the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon, happening on the 10th of February 2024. Learn more at www.accessbankplc.com/marathon. Access, more than banking.
The I Beg to Differ Secondary School Debates Competition is back. The challenging and well-researched
They said CBDC is easier and faster.
Giving the economic climate to some countries.
2/3 of the world population have abolished the death penalty. Yet you mentioned that they don't no longer settle land disputes like
the points and the counterpoints.
In line with research, Nigeria is set to test an increasing number of skilled workers.
You look at the points that you made about it being manipulated by the media. Secondly, my opponent says that it increases volume of clean and fit loot. Well,
the confidence and the tensed battle.
we make it sound that the government doesn't have a set of rules and regulations. There are different
Yes, we're back. It's still the big hat fact, and we're still talking about the the situation in the country as we speak, the cost of living crisis, and all the other tentacles that come from it or grow through it. I did tell you earlier on that the Psychiatrist Association of Nigeria have talked about the fact that urgent steps should be employed to tackle mental health related issues as a result of the economic crisis and the harshness of the economy. In fact, they've even asked that employers of labor do something to ameliorate the sufferings of the people. But is it really up to the employers of labor? Or is it up to our government, our leaders, the people who just took receipt of 545 billion naira extra as the allocation for different states? I did ask a question earlier today that, look, who's going to give account of all of these monies? Are they going to justify the increase in their allocation while Nigerians are groaning? Again, I did tell you that there's been a state of emergency declared when it comes to medical supplies and medication, drugs in the country. When I say drugs, I don't mean hard drugs, I mean medication. Because now, Uncle Jimmy made a joke months and months ago that now you can't fall ill in Nigeria because you can't even buy the medicine that they would be prescribing for you. You can't even afford a doctor's appointment. How many people even have health insurance? And so, like I said, now there were three categories of people in this country: the rich, the middle class, and the poor. But now we have the rich, the poor, the poorest of the poor, and the needy. And I'm sure that so many of us fall in different categories. I'm not rich, so obviously I'm in the poor category. But what I have said earlier on is that there are more and more people who are resorting to suicide. The other day, someone resorted to selling their kid just so that they could find food to eat. Is that bad? But everyone's saying, oh, we need to get government to do. But government, are they listening? Who put us here in the first place? And how do we help ourselves out of this situation? Let's talk, Lagos. I've got very little time. 0700 993 993 993 0700 993 993 993. If you're a lady, 0201 465 7190. Join the conversation. If you're listening to us via Skype outside of the country, call us. We're Nigeria Info FM. Send me a message on Twitter. Let's hear your thoughts. Hello.
Hello, Marianne. Good evening.
Hi, Michael.
Yes, my name is Michael Obat. You are perfectly correct when you say there is no more middle class. And I think that is the saddest thing that the government had done. The role the middle class was playing was fundamental, and the outcome was phenomenal. It was the middle class that would be able to cater for their 10 dependents. Now the middle class, which has been wiped off, cannot take care of themselves. So those other 10 other dependents are on their own. That is the super poor people we are referring to. It's so sad that it's affecting all of us. I took my canisters to buy sewer water this afternoon. It used to be 900. They told me that it's now 1,100. And to make matters worse, they didn't even have. Yes, I'm just coming. If I move my car, you could hear the sound of the empty cans because it's affecting every single person. How many people do you want to help? It is getting out of hand. And like they said, you better do something because it will get to a point that people will start eating themselves. We are seeing signs of it all over the country. Whoever cares to listen should listen early enough because when the problem starts, I don't think anybody will be spared. Thank you, Marianne.
Thank you, Michael, for calling. I do appreciate it. Michael has made me remember something. I played you an audio from the protests in Niger State. The people were complaining about the cost of living crisis. The governor was saying, oh, someone gave them fake news about palliatives that were going to be diverted by government, and that's why they were protesting. Could it be that our leaders are choosing to hear what they want to hear and missing the point? Because no, everyone's saying let's protest, but what is it going to do if the people you're protesting to try to get their attention have their attention elsewhere? Or there's something else they would rather believe? How do we now get the help that we need to get out of this? Because it's better that we address this issue now than wait for it to catch fire, right? So how do we sort this one out? I'd like to hear from you, Lagos. I don't want to talk anymore. Hello.
Hello, Marianne.
Hi.
So, you said, how do we come out of this?
Oh, so sorry, Mrs. Oboli. You have to call us back. Someone sent me a message here. Chuks in Ikorodu says, my sister, I run a pharmacy business. Price of drugs now, Even to tell the customers how much, I'm feeling somehow worried. Chuks, I totally get where you're coming from. It's a really tough, like I said, it's tough, really tough. This one says, I could see, EJ, I'm not going to read this message out loud, but thanks for sending it. Hello. Sorry about that. Do call us back if you can. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Hello? What's happening? Hello? Hello?
Good evening.
Good evening. What's your name, sir? Where are you calling from?
My name is Ola, calling from Ikorodu.
Go ahead, Ola.
Yeah, this is my first time calling.
Oh, first time caller. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. The thing is, the situation of the country is currently in an hectic state. Like, everything is so terrifying. Hello, are you there?
Go ahead. Apologies, do call us back. Hello, welcome to Hard Fact.
Hello, Marianne. I called back.
Okay, great.
I said, with what everybody's passing through now, I think we should just resort to communal living. Your neighbor is passing through a whole lot. This is the time one should just lend a helping hand. Marianne, while we are waiting for governments that are not even really willing to help or sort anybody, it's better just see a neighbor around you passing through one or two
I'm so sorry. I don't agree with you.
Marianne.
No. I'll give you my reasons. And that's fine. It's just my opinion. Why do we have a government if they cannot help us? What's the essence of government? It is their duty. They took an oath. You and I didn't take an oath.
Okay.
They took an oath to make sure that they serve us.
I agree with you 100%. But while we wait for this help that's not forthcoming, don't allow your neighbor die. If you have an opportunity to lend a helping hand, do your bit. That's where I'm going to. Of course, we should hold them accountable. Now, recently, they are giving another aid again to support, to do the needful. But, Marianne, you will know where these monies will end up in. And that's why we keep talking, speaking up, and clamoring for a change in simple, basic amenities that will alleviate the suffering of the masses. So while we wait or await whatever it is they want to do that is not forthcoming, lend your neighbor a helping hand. That's as far as it goes, Marianne.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Zaboli, for calling. Let me just take you back to the situation in Niger State. You might not understand what they're saying, but this video clip, it's courtesy of AIT Television Online. Take a listen.
Residents of Mina, the Niger State capital, woke up to some early morning protests by some women around the Kwakungu area within the metropolis. They were protesting the daily rising cost of foodstuffs and hardship, which led to the blocking of some roads, thereby paralyzing both vehicular and human movement.
lalle shi ake yi kuma gashi nan mun riga mun gani an zo an ce tsadar abinci tsadar siminti ga komi yan mata ga mun gaba kida yawa
da abinci ya tsada kana ji ko kullum mace shinkafa 2000 masara naira 1000 garin rogo 800 ta ina za mu fara saboda Allah da annabi.
However, according to Governor Bago, the immediate investigation of the protest was attributed to some informants and economic saboteurs who informed some women about the movement of trucks of food into the state to block them and loot.
So the people are saying we're dying of hunger. We're tired of how bad the situation of the economy is. And the governor is saying, well, some people misinformed, the public that there was some, palliatives coming and we were going to redirect them. And so they came out to loot the trucks. Really? So again, I ask you, these are the people that we need help from. Because we can't call the president alone. You have state governors. You have House of Assembly members. You have local government chairmen. And you have councillors. These are the people, the governments that are closest the most to you. These are the people that are supposed to hear your cries. These are the people that you should go to. But like Augusta, who went to her LCDA chairman, and he asked her, who gave you the effrontery? You're too small to come here and ask me for anything. So you beg to apply you. So really, is there any hope in sight? And what is that shred of hope that we can hang on to? Hello. Sorry about that. Do call us back. Hello. Welcome to Hard Facts. I'm so sorry about the phone lines. Everyone's trying to call right now. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. What's your name, sir? Where are you calling from?
This is Charles from Ojo.
Charles, you have 60 seconds. Go ahead, please.
The only solution to this problem is like that. We have to come out.
Sorry, what did you say?
Please, madam. With enough of
Sorry, I can't hear you. You say the only solution is what?
Hello?
Yes.
What I'm saying is that the only solution to this problem is everybody in this country to come out. We have our leaders. They are demons.
No. I knew you were saying something stupid. You can't just tell people to come out and attack the leaders. What are you? No, sir. How is violence going to help you and solve the problem that we're facing right now? No, please. Hello?
Hello. Good afternoon, Mary Ann Pino.
Hey, Pino Estate. Go ahead. You have 60 seconds.
What I have to say is, like I said in the afternoon, if we continue to play politics with everything, including what we're supposed to do as a people, we will see ourselves going down the drain the way it is going. But the truth is, like I said, in as much as things like protests have been proscribed,
Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. The lines have been really terrible today. And I'm so sorry about that. I can take one quick call and then read some messages because I'm almost out of time. Apologies. The lines have been really bad. Hello?
Hello.
Yes. Can you speak up, please, quickly? You have 60 seconds.
Good evening. This is Okeri George calling from Ibejuleki.
Go ahead.
I want to say something quickly and address something. There is good and there is bad. There is a good that will lead to a bad, and there is a bad that will lead to a good. As at this point, I want to call on fellow Nigerians, do not help anybody that is begging you for food. It is a necessary bad that will lead to the good in future. Are you with me?
How do you mean?
Good. We cannot keep people alive for them not to be able to reason when it comes when time for elections come. Don't attack anybody. Don't be violent. But anybody that begs you for something, do not give to that person. It is that hunger that will begat this common sense that we need to have in this country.
Okay. All right.
Hunger makes people wise. We need nothing.
So you're saying that we're not hungry enough yet? We're not hungry enough.
We have to. It is this suffering that will unite us.
Ah.
It is a necessary evil.
Okay.
That must unite all Nigerians, irrespective of tribe or religion.
All right.
To see things, issues.
I have to let you go. Thank you so much for calling. I'm not letting you go because you're not making sense. You made absolute sense. I can see it from where you're sitting. I can see your position. It does make some sense. But you know what they say about Nigerians? You push them to the wall, they create space, more space in the wall. Or have we gotten or had enough of it so far? And are we ready to hold our leaders accountable? I've got to go on a break.
Needs a new set of fearless leaders. Let's raise them. Wigwe University,
where the fearless make history.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's